We have a lot of people in this audience who are from ad technology companies. They're not actually direct selling inventory. They're working with publishers, with marketers, with agencies. What would the Neil Ashe of 3-4 years ago at head of CBS Interactive say to those folks? And what would you say now to them? How should they be relating to the rest of the ecosystem?
Well, I mean, as you know, dramatic growth has created dramatic complexity. And so the interrelationship between different solutions, some of which are in search of problems, is really challenging. Right. And obviously, the need to survive and the need to thrive drives a desire and a need to differentiate. The reality is oftentimes it's just not that complicated. And so to the extent that you can provide a simpler solution for marketers and definitely for consumers and for those of us who are trying to build businesses with your help, the better off we're all going to be.
I'd like to build on that because I think that there is something else that I would tell CBS Interactive now, as well as all of the core companies in similar space, is that the marketers need the help of the entire ecosystem to build that creativity and those levels of insights to be able to build brands. Before, we rarely used to lean on anybody related to the media and the publishing. And I think that we're finding now in this very dynamic interactive world is that we need everybody to be able to contribute those ideas. Why? Because the publishers are at the forefront of the latest technology and the best ways to be able to connect with the consumers and the customers. And that knowledge needs to move inward into the companies to be able to clear out those business decisions and collapse that supply chain so that they are working hand in hand. That didn't exist when we first started that study.
Right, right. Actually, I want to follow up on that because one of the themes of what you presented and your conversation, Neil, is that amid all this technological wizardry and development, the key to success is the human connection, both within the enterprise and between the enterprise and its consumers. So I think that's a very striking realization. But in your presentation, Bob, you also talked about the importance of big data leading to big insights, right. Which doesn't sound human. It sounds very much about technology. Neil, I want to ask you, you're in e-tailing. It's the world's largest retailer. There is a lot of data you have about what's moving where and when and presumably how and why. Unpack the notion of big data for us. And are you finding ways of the data you have leading to insights? I mean, what's reality versus what's bull?
So I think big data might be the big buzzword of the era, and it's amazing how the power that it has developed. And so I'd say, I don't know, 6-9 months ago, we all sat down and we said we were just sick of this because every time somebody wanted to get something done in the company, they'd say it was related to big data, which even inside our organization wasn't true. So we set about to take big data and take it from big data the noun to big data the verb. And so we identify kind of 3 benefits.
You mean
for
to big data something?
Well, just to make it actionable, in other words. So and we define that pretty simply, which is we want to help our customers find one more item. We want to help our merchants sell one more item. And we want to help our operators do all of this by building one less facility. So whether that's a fulfillment center for us or a store or such, that's when data starts to become really actionable. So I've talked a lot about in other venues about this building an internet technology company, which means we're insourcing a lot of the technology. So we have built capability over the last year and a half for data that never existed before. So we had more data than anybody else, but we didn't necessarily have the ability to use that. Right. And so now that's coming it's manifesting itself in what we show to customers, both on our site and mobile apps, of course, but also in our stores. It's manifest in merchants and how they evaluate the products that we're going to carry on our sites and in our stores. And it's manifest for our operators in how they do things from scheduling to inventory allocation to those sorts of things. So now it's really starting to roll. Now, we're starting to partner with our suppliers on how we can use that data to their benefit as well. So, as you pointed out in your open, Randy, we invented Retail Link in 1992, which was the first time anybody had shared data with anybody, I think. And it was all about how to use sales data to make the supply chain significantly more efficient. Right. Now we're talking to our suppliers about how we can do the same thing with the demand chain. So how can we make the demand chain more efficient? And the benefits of that are pretty obvious, and we break them down into 4 buckets. We call this program WMX, and it's in a beta and a conversation, but it's really, it's first and foremost about how to deliver a better shopping experience for our customers. And if we stopped there, we'd be satisfied. But as you start to dig through that, as you know, all these things are interrelated. So first of all, how can we deliver a better shopping experience? Second, how can we drive more retail sales? So, those Pampers are largely sold through Walmart, and so the connection between the purposeful branding that P&G does, how they market that in an interactive concept, and the sales in our stores and our sites is obviously connected in a way, and we can make that connection in ways that no one else can.